Pennywise is, without a doubt, one of the most iconic and terrifying villains in the history of horror. And thanks to Andy Muschietti, we finally got a pretty solid on-screen version of him. That horrifying smile, that killer stare, that dark presence, that unhinged little dance. He left images in our minds that we'll probably never forget. But what a lot of people don't know is this: it isn't just a scary clown monster. Let me put it this way. What we've seen in the movies so far is maybe 10% of what Stephen King describes in the books about this ancient demonic entity. So the question becomes, who is it? Or better yet, what is it? How did it come into existence? And what are its exact traits, abilities, and powers? That's what we're answering in this video, so stick with Fictiontv. In the films, it is explained as a shape-shifting creature that crashed on Earth a long time ago. It wakes up once every 27 years, and using its main ability, creating illusions, it traps its victims inside their greatest fears, hunts them, and then goes back to sleep. And in every live-action adaptation, this thing is shown as genuinely terrifying, deeply evil, and almost impossible to stop. But like I said, even with all that, it is way beyond that. Not just stronger, not just scarier, it is bigger than the world it's trapped inside. In Stephen King's universe, it's explained that before the physical, material world was even created, there was an interdimensional space called the Macroverse. And inside that place, it is born out of darkness. Almost at the same time, a divine, turtle-like entity called Maturin comes into existence, and the physical universe itself is basically created by Maturin. These two beings are complete opposites in every sense. One is the symbol and source of absolute evil, destruction, and chaos, and the other is the symbol of goodness, creation, and order. And when Maturin creates the physical universe, the boundary between the Macroverse and this newborn reality becomes unstable, and it gets pulled into the physical world. Millions of years before humans even exist, it crashes down toward Earth. This cosmic demonic thing stays asleep for ages until humans show up, creatures full of fear, doubt, and emotion. And to it, humans are basically easy bites, weak, vulnerable, perfect. From that point on, it falls into a precise cycle. Every 27 years, it wakes up, unleashes chaos and darkness, especially massacres, hunts hundreds of people, feeds on their fear, and then goes back to sleep again. And why does it sleep at all? Because it needs to restore its power that's tied directly to the Macroverse. Before we get into the horrifying and honestly massive powers this creature has, we need to talk about its true nature. Here's the part that might sound wild. It is not the clown. It isn't Pennywise, and every other form it has taken throughout history on Earth is basically just a shell, a disguise it uses to get close to humans and hunt them. The real essence of it is the deadlights, those orange lights swirling together. The thing that, if you look directly at it, you basically lose your soul. And I'll explain exactly why and how that happens in a second. One of the most fascinating and terrifying parts of this entity is its power set. In the book version, it isn't just a clown monster. This is a cosmic demon that can literally influence the rules of reality, history, the mind, the soul, and even the narrative itself. In simple terms, the book straight up suggests that its power exists beyond the fundamental laws of the universe, time, and even the structure of the story you're reading. Now that we've established how ridiculous its power level is, let's go through the abilities and traits it actually has. The first, and most important, is shapeshifting. It can become anything: humans, animals, classic monsters like werewolves, ghosts, pretty much whatever you can imagine. But it gets worse when you realize something more disturbing. It doesn't just turn into random forms. It becomes the deepest, most personal fear inside each person. So in that sense, it has basically no limits at all. The next ability is reality manipulation, used in multiple ways. The first version of it is mental. If you've watched the two movies and the newer series Welcome to Derry, one of the biggest questions people ask is, why are the locals so weirdly indifferent after each brutal wave of disasters? Like they don't want to see what's happening, or maybe they can't. That goes back to its ability to manipulate people's mental reality. And that's just the smaller part of it. That mind control through reality warping becomes way scarier when it uses it directly on its victims. By altering what reality looks like for one specific person, it can push them into harming themselves or harming others. And the creepiest part? Sometimes it goes way beyond just hallucinations. In certain cases, those imaginary environments or creatures can actually hurt people. Another strange trait is its speed. In the movies, we've seen it sprint at kids at insane speed, and a lot of the time it even seems to teleport. But compared to the book version, that's basically nothing. In the book, Pennywise is described as a timeless being because it comes from a reality where time and space don't even mean anything. And because of that, it can appear instantly at any point in physical space and even time, and affect the past, the present, and the future. And then we get to the most important part, the core source of its existence and power, the deadlights, those 3 deadly points of light that throw victims into a coma-like state so it can come back later and feed on them. But why? And how? Because it is a being that exists far beyond the physical universe. The human mind can't comprehend its true form. So when it reveals the source of its being to its prey, the human mind basically collapses. Your awareness breaks down, and you enter something like brain death. Now here's the big question. With all these limitless, mind-melting abilities, how has it been beaten multiple times? Or how has it ever been hurt at all? When it comes to moments where it seems like a physical hit stops it for a short time, the explanation is this. When it takes on a physical form, it becomes partially limited by the rules of physical reality. But contrary to how it looks, it itself is never actually the thing getting damaged. Only the shell it's using gets harmed. But the biggest weakness, the one thing that can force it to retreat, is belief. The same way it can manipulate people's minds and beliefs, if someone stands in front of it and truly, not as a coping thing, not as fake bravery, genuinely believes they aren't afraid, or genuinely believes they can hurt it, it is pushed back. That weakness sounds simple on paper, but in practice, it's brutal. Because imagine facing the worst fears of your entire life in the worst possible situation. It's almost impossible to truly believe, I'm not scared, when fear is literally screaming in your face. And now that we've got a clearer, more accurate picture of what it really is, one thing becomes obvious. It's not a clown. It's not a monster. It's not even a devil. It's a cosmic dark entity that isn't bound by any law, because it's not just a creature, it's a concept. The pure concept of fear and destruction. And Stephen King creating something this unique inside his stories is exactly why he's still the undisputed king of horror.